Hello everyone, it's Farket here, and in this video I'm going to explore the speed of every weapon and some of the tools and other things like meat and all that, because why the hell not? Variables I'm using for this test is to swing the weapon and time between the animation starting and the animation finishing. Now this doesn't count for every weapon. There are certain weapons like the spear, rock, head, skull, etc. that when you swing them, they return back to their normal state. Whereas with weapons like axes and the clubs and stuff like that, you can swing them backwards and forwards without them returning to their original state. So swings left to right, for instance. This doesn't work with the previously mentioned items. I'm also going to be testing ranged weapons and the times it takes to reload and fire them again. And with the bows, it's more to test the speed that they draw back. But there's only two of them. I'm recording this on 1080p at 60 frames per second and facing out in the ocean to make sure that the frame rate stays stable at 60, which they did. So it made it easier to narrow down right to the millisecond. Any frame rate drops could mess up the testing. Now I was originally going to show the fastest to slowest, but I thought I'd put in the weapons that return back to their natural state once you swing the weapon. So the first one is the upgraded spear. It takes 1.01 seconds to swing to attack. The next is the weak spear, which takes 1.03 seconds. It's slightly slower than the upgraded spear. It's good for throwing though. Next is the meat. That's 1.16 seconds. Then there's the head. That clocks in at 1.23 seconds. It actually does a fair amount of damage, but it's too slow to be using as a weapon. Next is the skull, which comes in at 1.23 seconds as well. And lastly, there's a rock. That comes in at 1.26 seconds. This is an upgraded rock without glass on it. Glass will slow it down, but it will make it hit a lot harder. Okay, first of these is the repair hammer, which I don't really know why I was testing, but it took 1.11 seconds to do its thing. Next is the machete. That came in at 1.13 seconds. Now the katana came in at 1.14 seconds. In these tests, I'm going to give or take a frame. So I think it would be the exact same speed as the machete. Next is the climbing axe, which comes in at 1.16 seconds, though this is a crap weapon. Use it as a tool. Next is the upgraded stick. That comes in at 1.16 seconds as well, but this can actually make a decent weapon. Next is the bone that comes in at 1.18 seconds. Very good for raising strength due to its low stamina usage. Next is the plane axe, which comes in at 1.19 seconds. Still a crap weapon though. The tennis racket comes in at 1.21 seconds. Very good weapon, especially with damage upgrades and its low stamina usage. The leg comes in at 1.23 seconds. It has the lowest stamina usage in the game of 2.9 per swing, though its damage is terrible. Modern axe comes in at 1.26 seconds, making a very good overall weapon. Probably the best. The arm comes in at 1.27 seconds. It's got a long range on it, though it doesn't do very much damage and uses a lot of stamina. The crafted club comes in at 1.29 seconds, so slightly slower than the modern axe. The rusty axe, that comes in at 1.29 seconds as well, so it's the exact same speed as the crafted club. The club itself comes in at 2.01 seconds, which is quite slow, though this is the highest potential dealing weapon in the game, if that makes sense. I don't know if I worded that one right. Next is the crafted axe, which comes in at 2.06 seconds. This weapon's absolutely terrible. Every test I seem to do, it fails miserably. The molotov, that takes 3.21 seconds to light and throw. That does not include holding down the interact button, the E button, to light it. Now for the ranged weapons. The slingshot only takes 0.24 seconds to pull back. It's very fast. It's the fastest in the game as far as I can tell. The flintlock pistol comes in at, wait for it, 5.29 seconds to shoot and reload. That's insane. It is so slow. It's the slowest weapon in the game. The flare gun comes in at 4.12 seconds to fire and reload. The crossbow is actually quite a bit faster than the flintlock. It comes in at 3.28 seconds to fire and reload. So it does more damage than the flintlock and it's faster to reload. The crafted bow takes 0.28 seconds to pull back, not fire, just to pull back, which is actually a lot faster than what the modern bow is capable of, which is 1.17 seconds. So the crafted bow is almost 3 times faster. I'd say 2.5 times faster without exactly working out the math. So if you're good with headshots and you get them nearly every time, the crafted bow is going to be much better for you. So that's it. Now this video is part of a lot of tests I've been doing on finding what's the best weapon, like with the stamina, block, damage, speed, and other variables. I've combined them into a list, but the list is overcomplicated, so I'm not sure how to present it in a video. I'll work it out. Anyway, if you like this video, make sure you like and subscribe. Cheers.